This will be just a short summary of the contents of the workshops that will be held in the Northern Cape. As the title indicated, this workshop will be about the scientific disaster risk assessment for the Northern Cape province. In more detail or more specific, it will be a data gathering process for a high-level disaster risk assessment. The first tool that we're going to use through this for this assessment is a spreadsheet of the for disaster risk or of specific hazards that we're going to look at. This is a list of possible hazards that can occur in the study area. It is from civil unrest, environmental degradation, infestations, and then infrastructure failure, major events, oceanographic, pollution, transport hazards, and so forth. So we will go through the list during the workshop, and then we will look at specific hazards. This one is a crime, not applicable for the district. It is a lower vulnerability or high vulnerability for the district. The next sheet, we will look in more detail to the hazards itself. Here we will look at again the list of hazards, and then we will go through the list of each hazard. And this will be done on district level, but important with the input from the local municipalities, officials or people from the local municipalities. What is their feeling about civil unrest, disease, animals, and stuff like that. So we will go through it. This cell here will be populated by the vulnerability that we have looked at here. And then we can say then the first one is then regarding the hazard itself. Here we will look at the occurrence occurred in the past, has not occurred and has no chance of occurrence, or then occurred multiple times during a single year. And then the next one is the frequency, decreasing, stable, increasing rapidly. You see the numbers, they change. Duration of the hazard itself, not the duration of the impact, but the duration of the hazard. It is just a few minutes, a few weeks, or a few months. The area of the impact, is it not applicable, a single property, or is it a larger area than the municipality, in this case the district as well. And then we looked at the impact on the people, low impact, fatalities, serious health problems, but confined to the municipality or to the specific area. The next one, we look at the impact on infrastructure, low impact, serious structure damage, total disruption of structure, disruption of longer than a month. Impact on the environment, the same, minor effects or total destruction. This is a very bad hazard. We look at impact on the economy, again some disruption or total stop of activities. Can we predict this? Effective early warning, no early warning. And then look at the priority urgency for the district and the local municipality. It is a high priority for the district and municipalities. This was the hazard itself. This green area is where we look then at the capabilities of the district, but as well as the local municipalities to handle the hazard, capacity to handle the hazard. This is the green area. Here we will look at the municipal staff, human resources, more than sufficient or not applicable or insufficient staff unable to cope, municipal experience and special knowledge, more than sufficient in case of animal diseases. The municipalities have more than enough vehicles. Municipal equipment is more than sufficient. Municipal funding, as always, is more than sufficient. And these other coping mechanisms as well, buildings, municipal prevention, mitigation, risk reduction plans, and so forth. And then municipal response recovery plans and policies and programs. Like I've said earlier, that is for the district as well as the local municipalities. And in some hazards, there's people or organizations outside the local or district municipality that are responsible for that specific hazard. Like traffic can be one example. And then we will do this in the green area as well. So or in the purple area. The green area is for the municipality itself, and the purple area that we will complete is for outside the district and local municipality. This can be province, for example. Again, this is the hazards that we're going to look at. Civil unrest, geological hazards, rockfall, storm surges, land pollution, water pollution, and for example. So this is the description of hazards, the vulnerability in the area, local municipality or district. The next step is we must locate that on a map. We must add location to that. And what we're going to use is we're going to use a map. This is, for example, a map of Ubuntu local municipality. You can see that the area is consists out of zones. This black boundaries here is, we call that measure zones, and that is approximately 50 square kilometers. This covers the whole province, and the whole South Africa is divided by this measure zone. So what we are going to do is, for example, when we look at a specific fire of a specific hazard, in this case a veld fire, then we can say, we can use our pencils and say this whole area here, there is a high risk of fires. Remember, we must just then include here this specific one, the specific line is for veld fires. Maybe we can use another pen color of each, but we must make sure that when I leave the meeting is that I know that area is for veld fire. So other way is that we will provide notepads or paper for you to write on. And again, or in the spreadsheet, you will be able to say, okay, environmental degradation, erosion. It is more specifically in zone 18252, 18553, and 18432. We note that down, and after the meeting, the workshop, I will transfer all this information to the GIS that we can later on create a database of all the hazards, vulnerability, and then we can create maps of our hazard assessment. So this will be this is in short the purpose of the workshops. We will discuss this in more detail before the start of the workshop, but I'm sure that we will be able to tackle disaster risk or hazard assessment or hazard mapping during the workshops.